Alrighty, it is, what is it now, Wednesday the 13th of March, and I'm really trying to rush at this and not getting started up properly at all here. Let me now kill the music quickly. Whew. There, here we are. We're going to go through the top 10 crypto predictions. Before all that, we have to quickly go through the disclaimer to say this is not trading advice. You can read the disclaimer in the description below. And let's jump in to see what Bitcoin is doing right now, because we have something going on at this moment. We can see Stellar is taking off as we're talking. Bitcoin is making some pretty wild moves right now. So I brought up this significant trades, I don't know what it is, thing that I always keep up handy. Let me put it into the chat here so you can bring it up. Put it up on your desktop. It's always great to have it. And when something's happening in Bitcoin, all of a sudden this thing all lights up green. And it looks like everything's going to be taking off here while we're going through the show, which is phenomenal. I bet you can tell. I bet you can tell what our chart is going to be when we get to it. Sorry, I'm starting off a little bit haywire there, but we are going to go through the bull market watch. We're going to go through all of the charts on Poloniex. We're going to grade them against our simple trading plan. So everything that's yellow is an alert. Everything is green has passed the alert stage, and we would consider it a hold. That means it's past our trading protocol, our simple trading plan, and it's turned into a what we would call a hold. An exit is a blue color, and we haven't had a lot of those, but we should be coming up to them pretty soon. We were seeing a lot of fails and near fails as prices were breaking down to new lows recently. And you can see here in this chart here that a lot of the neutral coins have faded off and have turned the corner to bullish. We did a couple different, you can see this chart's really great. It really shows the bullishness strength and the bearishness strength. We've done a couple different shows where we were looking through the best coins for March of 2019. The best cryptocurrencies to invest in for March. And we've had a couple different ways of going through and sorting them. And today we're going to go through and see if we can pick out another different list of the top 10 that we have been successful with. So I'd like to say hello to everybody in the chat. AOL Chandra's here, and GBU Wally, great to have you here as well. M Babs, I saw you were here a couple hours ago, but I was late, so I rescheduled. Now back to the action at hand. Litecoin is taking off. Ethereum is in a beautiful formation, and there was news that the Security and Exchange Commission in the United States said that Ethereum and many of the other cryptocurrencies are not securities. And the markets didn't really move so quickly right after that. There was a bit of a bump, but nothing so fast. And I think the reason is it takes a long time for bank transfers to actually happen, where these guys can move big amounts of money into place to start to play in these markets now. They have permission, basically. So it's going to be great to flip back and forth and see what's going on with these coins, because we'll watch Bitcoin in the background too as we're doing this. Let's go back to Poloniex. Start off with Ardor. Ardor, as we know in our spreadsheet here, we've had this as an alert for a long time. Now it is a hold. It has broken out of that trade formation that we've been watching for so long in between this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, building and building, huge bowl shape building up here, and bam, it's blasted off. And remember that we always have those two different places to enter when we're thinking of a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. We can buy on the breakout, or we can wait for prices to break out, pull back, and prove to us that they are not a fake out breakout, that they stop on top of this number 2 point and then start to go up from there. And this is our second chance to buy in. So it's working out quite favorably to use this as a filter for all trades. So don't get swept into these kind of pumps and jumping into it too late. Just hang back. The ones that are going to be best will pull back, like the train coming back to the station for those people who missed it the first time. And look at it. It's phenomenal. So this kind of trade setup is great because we've been watching it for so long, and now that it's broken above the number 2 point, let's do a parallel line here and zoom back out to see where that is. Look at that. Amazing how that parallel line fits right on top of the number 2 point all the way back. So fantastic timing. If you're here watching this and you have a chance to trade this, paper trade it, follow along in our spreadsheet, mentally look at it and get this pattern burned into your brain, it will do well to learn this stuff. You really can make money work for you. It takes a while. You got to be patient with it. Could you talk the significance of that ruling? I don't fully understand the impact. Well, I'm no pro at that. My thing is the chart patterns, but it has been a holding point for all institutional investors to know whether or not these things are judged as securities, because if they are securities, there are a whole bunch of specific rules they have to follow. If they're not securities, they don't have to follow those rules, and I can't explain it any better than that, except that the institutional investors were waiting for that ruling to know whether they could invest and how they could invest, I guess. But anyway, there's going to be loads of money sliding in from all directions, not just into Bitcoin. All these cryptocurrencies have so many different windows now into the game. Look at this bottom formation. These are fun days. Patience is key, no matter what kind of trading you are. Hey, Tyranox, good to have you here. And Bolt Burns, great to have you along. Looking forward to watching this later. Been making some good money off the cryptos lately. Keep it up, brother. These are the days. Now's the time, Bolt Burns. Coins starting to pump. Coins are starting to pump. And the great thing is, we've been lining up on this for months, with a very specific pattern in mind and a very specific risk control strategy. And of course, it's taken months because it's been in a long-term downtrend, but it's a very specific pattern. Once you get this pattern into your mind and you watch for it, you can make money work for you. This is the alt season. This is the bull market of the century. Bull market, the greatest bull market of all time. I have all of my window monitor panes in different spots, so we are holding the biggest bull market in history cryptocurrency trading contest, and there's going to be over $5,000 in prizes, but the contest needs participants before it's going to be starting. We're going to have some small contests along the way, but be sure to click on the link below so that you can join up in that cryptocurrency trading contest. Now, I'm going to speed up here, but there's some really good information there about our trading plan and our trading pattern. I'm looking for BNT just because I have these things out of order and I haven't changed it yet. So Bancor Network token wasn't much we could look at because we kept to have lower lows. So it's a new number 1 point and then a new number 1 point and a new number 1 point and then blasted. So all we can do for me for this trading plan is to step back into a longer time frame and wait for a larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation to shape up and wait for something to be this size. Or jump in now, leave your stop loss close, just because we're in such an insane bull market and pretty much everything is going to be going up. So you want a piece of everything and you like this project, now is probably a good time. We had it as a buy last time as a hold. I'm going to leave it there because it's done that. If we call this a 3-2-1 bottom formation, it's not quite as nice, but it's there, where the prices have come back to stop on top of that number 2 point. And this is a key buy point if it starts to show strength off of that. BCH, ABC, and SV aren't doing much for me. It's got to come back up and start breaking to new highs. And it'll probably do it really fast. But I'm going to leave it as neutral, and we'll just watch it every day. It's not something I'm going to be trading. This one neutral as well. BCN, we were talking about this and we're talking about this, and now it's jumped up into, it could be an alert right now. It could be a hold right now. You could jump right in and do something with that. Bitcoin, of course, if we go back. Let's go to Bitfinex, Bitcoin. Look at that. Broken above that little triangle there. All right, we have, let me drag this. We have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and a smaller 1, 2, 3 shaping up here right at the end. And I don't usually use this for the charts, but when I zoom in on this, you can see that we've got this 1, 2, 3 at the tip, and it's just showing strength off of that number 3 point. So a break above these levels is a buy in so many different ways with this trading plan that it's definitely an alert in our spreadsheet right now. And we can see this pattern in all of the coins. It's just such a rewarding thing to be searching for it and watching for it and getting ready for it and then seeing it shape, and then it's actually happening. It's not, it doesn't seem like it's, you know, it's not going to fake us out again and go up and then pull back. It actually seems like all of these big pre-pump buying candles are building up to a shift in the market right now. So we had this one as an alert, and that's all I can do for it now. It's got to give us some more juice. Burst. I say burst is, it's an alert slash hold. So either one, alert or hold, are added together for our bullish bearish index, so that's okay. Clam, of course, has gone up way up higher. I already sold mine and took it into something else, and I should have done nothing. It would have made, yes, it would have made more money. But anyway, it's a hold. Civic coin. All right, there we go. We saw this coming. We saw the alert for a while, and we've had it as a hold, and nothing to do there. It's come back, and it's coming back just on top of these levels again. There's another one that blasted and stayed above, and this is a stark contrast to what we saw at the beginning of December when we saw some nice little bottoms, and then we saw prices blast up, and then they faded back. So now let's watch these. Are they going to hold on top of these levels, or are they going to fade back? This seems like a different market now. It seems like everything is turning around, and should they all stay above these support levels, we are in for a ride, especially all of us that have been watching. Put a few bucks in. The percentage gains are the greatest thing. Now, we've had this on an alert for a while, and I was talking last show, a show and a half ago, 2 shows ago, about this descending pattern here, that it is a bull flag. Like, it's like flag, like waving around type of thing. And there it goes. So I don't know what I did there. Back that up. And this is now a hold. So it's burst out of our flag, and we're happy with it. Decreed, I had it as neutral because it was giving us lower like new lows, but it blasted off as well. So I'm just going to put this, jump it right to a hold because it's the bullishness, bearishness index and not trading strategies. And Digibyte. Of course, we've had this as a hold for a while, and this was phenomenal. I just like to reinforce this in my mind every time I come across one of those good trades that took so long to build up, that we watched and identified it very clearly right to the minute. The next day off it took, we called it a hold, and it's just taking off. You know, to pre-plan it in advance, get that pattern, watch it, identify it, and then catch it is awesome. And then review it so that you get that burned into your mind, so when you see the next one, you know exactly what to do. So Doge is an alert. It's a very similar pattern here, building up. And any strength in Doge right now, while everything else is strong, I think it's going to be doing another one of these big moves up. And where is too many things here. We had a question. Will it work here, or do I have to bring up Binance? Let's see. I'll bring this over. This is Poloniex. And we're looking down here right now. This is off topic, but it was a question earlier. Since we were just talking about Doge and I made it an alert. We were talking about the order books and what to do with the order books. These are the order books. So you can see here that there are 25.9 Bitcoin worth of orders at 51 Bitcoin. At 52 Bitcoin, there are 5.38 Bitcoin worth of sell orders. And just above that, there's 17 Bitcoin of sell orders, 9 all the way along. And so you can see the additive amount here is the depth. So if I wanted to buy 100 Bitcoin worth of Doge right now, I would have to pay all the way up to, I would just in one gulp, I would have to take it right up to 70 Satoshi and just scoop everything all the way up to 70 Satoshi, and I'd have my 100 Bitcoin worth of Doge, and I could just go, and sit back. And this is, so when you're, I would like to see this kind of stuff in history so that you could watch this order book as you go through the chart in history, so you can see what's happening in the order book as prices were doing what they were doing, as it made a big, huge move. What happened in the hours, minutes before in the order book as that whole thing transpired. And to be able to watch that as you're looking at historical prices would be phenomenal. And so by watching this and comparing where these orders are as a big market's moving, you can start to get a feel for when it's running out of steam. You can see when the orders are changing and there's fewer buy orders holding up the market, and all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of sell orders all piling up above the market, really big and heavy and ominous looking. So you can watch this over time, especially as a chart pattern is looming and coming up. As it's breaking out, you can be watching these patterns and start to get a feel for the ebb and flow of the waves of buying. You can see it here. It's not 100% for sure, but getting familiar with it is an important thing to get to know what's happening, especially if you're doing margin trading or lending on Poloniex. If you're outside of the United States and you get to do that still on the Poloniex platform, watching what's going on in the order books versus the lending and the margin trading can give you some really good insights about the right moments of the consolidation patterns. So I hope that helped. Doge. I made it an alert. Look at the volume coming in here. It's hard to zoom in on it properly, but this volume down here, that's new. Important. Now we're on to EOS. I feel like there was music playing and it just ended. Or we're in between songs. There's not very much history here for EOS. So what I'm going to do is go over to Bitfinex. Bring up EOS. And go back for some more history. And what I want to point out here is the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout that we traded earlier, and the larger pattern right here that prices have broken above and now settled above that level and stayed there. They've proven now it's not a fake out breakout. It's kicked out above this one and it's held above this one as well. So this is a really great potential market, really looking strong. There's still, of course, always room for it to do something, retraces and then moves for sure. But this is really looking great. And so when I say EOS is a hold, I also want to color it yellow as an alert, like to say that there's more coming. It's not just bullish. It's like even more bullish now. Ethereum, yeah, just like, wow. Ethereum Classic is probably one of the better opportunities if you were to just jump in at this very second. It's just flipping a coin, but everything else is already taking off and breaking above their 1, 2, 3 bottoms. This is one of those few markets now that is way back at the number 3 point of the potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. So let's zoom out and put this into perspective. And we think about this coming down, 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 down to the number 1 point, up, down to the number 3 point and building. A break above these levels would take it a fair ways. That's for sure. This is the assumption. And so if you're assuming something could happen like this, then it's a pretty amazing chart pattern right now. So can I put it as an alert? No, not yet. Whoops, I want to drag it over. It can't be put it as an alert yet because we're looking for that bottom formation and waiting for the confirmation that it's actually changing directions. Well, I've already got it as an alert. It's a little early, but I like this chart pattern a lot. That's a different trading plan though, so I'm mixing up trading plans. This is looking pretty good, but again, it's a different trading plan to be buying into it now. It's not the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation of the simple trading plan. That's a more patient trading plan, waiting for this move to actually change direction and not jumping in on these where it's the most dangerous and it's the closest to the edge of the cliff. That's the simple trading plan, is to wait a little longer and be more patient. You never buy at the bottom and you always sell after the top with the simple trading plan. Factum. Now, the name of the webinar here today, the live stream, get to the right thing, is the top 10 crypto predictions. And the top 10 crypto predictions, back to this one. The top 10 crypto predictions are from our alert package. And our alert package is 50% off today only. If we go to the alert package and bring this up, we can scroll down and start to see some of the top trades that we have in our alert package. And we've been holding ENGA for a while. So we got that on the 20th of February, but we've been holding Theta even longer, since December 22nd, January 2nd, December 13th. It's all great to have these old trades in here that are fantastic stats, and they're good trades to continue holding, of course, because everything's taking off right now. These are going to be insane. But what about right now? What about the top trades right now? If we resort this by date, we can go back to, these are the profitable trades that we've got on that we just put in the recent while. MTL, GRS, Aeon, ENG, Myth, POA. These are all trading patterns that we caught earlier this month. So the top 10 for this month are right here. These are our top 10 trades that we've picked up at the beginning of this month. And there's a whole bunch more alerts lined up right now too. They're ripe for the picking. It's amazing. But as we're going through these charts right now, we can see that some of the markets are really ready and some of them are not. They're pulled back. So to put your money into the markets that are really ready, you're more likely to have returns that you can then do something with and get into the markets later that are not set up right now. And I was fortunate enough to have some mining earnings from one of these computers here, and I invested it in clams. It went up. I took that from clams and I've invested that in Ripple. We'll take a look at Ripple prices later. So taking small amounts of money, I don't know, what was it, $25, and then growing it. Now it's $99 and I put it into Ripple. It's just a great hobby, just a few bucks to practice with. Factum, is it ready to go yet? It's so close, but yesterday I called it a hold. Today I'm going to call it an alert. Foam. All right. This was an alert just because it's made, look at those big green candles. I got to put that as a hold now because it's just edging above these levels. So I put it as a hold, and I would only keep that if it proved me correct. So if it continued to tick up a little bit, I know it's proven me correct. I would continue holding that, and I would be watching for when to add on to that trade. And when we get to Stellar, I'll show what I did in that trade a little bit. All right, game, you've been a favorite of mine for a long time, and now you've kicked yourself up to the hold status. You've just poked your nose above the water just enough that I can call you hold status for bullish. It's not quite a trading signal yet, but it's bullish. It is. It's just marginally a trading signal. Gas. Okay, I've lost the chat here. And let me catch up on the chat, because I could go through this stuff and talk to myself all day, right? But I do the chat so that you guys can ask questions. Send Crypto, good to have you along. And Old Scott, howdy. Hello, hello. Arrowman, just got to rub the margin trading in. Yes, indeed. Actually, it's the margin lending that is the most astonishing to me. And if we go to coinlend.org, I like to bring this up and just watch it. I refresh it every once in a while to see what the interest rates are going on right now. You click on that, you can see this is 377 annually, 377% annually, which is 0.48% daily. That is worse than any loan shark. I don't know. I'm not familiar with loan sharks, I'll tell you, but I'm thinking that's pretty crazy interest rates. And I did have some loans out there, and I made some nice profits on that, and then I took my profits, and then clams continued to go up. That's another story. Gas goes from alert to a hold, right? It's breaking above our formation, and we don't have to be precise with it. We can be pretty loose because we're looking for a long-term trade, and we're starting off with small little positions. So this kind of triangle breakout, sure, throw a few bucks in. You've passed, you've made the grade. GNT is another one that's a hold, because look at this bowl-shaped pattern. It's poked its nose above it. Another example. Look at that, how it's poked above and then held. That is huge. It's, to me, it's like a fish hook. You know what? It pokes through and it catches. There's something there like a ratchet that it's moved up that one level and it's locked itself in. Grin, I'll just zoom in on it, and there's no smiles there. Wow. Whoops. Come on, now, drag back for me. All right, Hunter Coin we put as an alert. Clearly it's jumped into a hold position. But I do want to point out that before it broke out, that's the key thing. When I see a breakout, my eye immediately goes to the chart and says, what was it looking like just before that? So if I can identify what was the chart looking like just before that and put that picture into my mind, and then every time I'm scanning charts and I see that pattern, I'm going to take action on it. And we're seeing them all over the place. So right now, it's just time to diversify. And we've been watching for it. We've had the patterns. We've been saying, laying it all out. So we're really crushing it. And a lot of our alerts subscribers are doing fantastic. I'm having a great time doing it too. So this is hold. And library credit, I think, is it going to be a hold from this alert? It is. We could call it a hold, especially with the tone of the entire market. But we could also say it's just an alert. It hasn't broken through yet. And one of the things you don't want to do is to be jumping on your signal before it actually hits you. So we'll call it an alert, but it's so on the edge, you could call that a hold as well. Loom, we've had this as a hold for a while because we were watching it. And it just made such a great sideways pattern that when it broke it, it actually came back a little deeper than I liked. It made me a little worried there. And now you've got like insulation way above you. LPT is a new one, and it's a bull. It's a go. It's a hold for sure. Like, this is showing strength. It's come back to retest these levels and moving up on increased volume. So that's really good. Whatever this project is, the investors are liking it. You can see the buying going on. It's just it's when you know what to look for. Here's another one that's taking off now and putting new volume in at specific times in that chart pattern. So We identified this differently because we were watching this pattern build up at the same time as we had the 1 2 3 bottom formation. As it broke out, it made a larger 1 2 3, and now we've got that ratchet action where it's moved up above and it's held above and moving. So a really great, what a great chart. And I'm happy to be having some of this, but I paid for it way back here, so it's going to take a while before that comes up to break even for me. I could buy some now and average down, actually, and it's against my normal rules to do that. But let me go back. Now is the time to do that. You know, if you purchased earlier and you're at a loss, you could double up on that now, average down, and it's crazy mathematics, but it's actually sensible right now. Litecoin is actually looking, it's going to go parabolic or it's going to drop. And I'm thinking parabolic because we really haven't had a full, huge set of candles here like we've seen in the past. And we're into some really different market dynamics now. Really different market dynamics. So it could be a time that we're going to see some of these insane candles and jaw-dropping entertainment. Get the popcorn ready. But it's also a potential top formation, so I don't want to ignore that. I don't want to not pay attention to that. In fact, when I get to these top formations, then I want to be checking the RSI. I want to checking the MACD and the and check a few things and be watching for it. But it's not looking like it's going to be coming back. It's giving this sort of a accelerating upward feeling, and we're getting ascending wedge triangles as it sets up each time. Ascending wedge triangles setting up. So these are stages of really big movements setting up here. Another ascending wedge triangle right at the very start. We caught this one right from the very start. It's one of our best trades because we caught this little 1 2 3 bottom formation. I digress a little here, but it's a great example because we saw the 1 2 3 bottom formation that appeared only over a few days period of time, but it broke out clean and we had our stop loss above our entry point and just watched it all the way along make these ascending wedge triangles. So now that's all great and lovely for us to have traded it from way back there. What's next is the most important thing is to be paying attention to other markets that are making these ascending wedge triangles because we know what they're going to be doing. This is a whole new game of wax here. A whole new ball of wax, a whole new game. Anyway, this is a hold. Not a cold fish yet. We don't have any cold fish yet. I can't wait till we start to see those colors. Made safe coin, I'm always going to be talking bullish about. It's one of the opportunities of a lifetime right at your fingertips, and I can only put it as neutral, but it'll be an alert and it'll take off and it'll be insane. It'll do it 10 times. You heard it here many times. Now anyway, Mana is made a 1 2 3 bottom formation. It broke out. It came back. It stopped above the 2 point and showed that support. Now is showing strength off of that, making a triangle consolidation. If I zoom into the 1 week view, and we can start to see how this triangle is battling back and forth, this is showing a fight in the market between the bears and the bulls. 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 It's going to turn out, once it starts to go past this point, it's going to really move. And we've already got it marked as a hold, but it really could be just an alert from the shape of the formation now. Nav was one that I was really excited about for such a long time because this pattern took such a long time to really manifest and finish. Now we've got that step up and we're holding and happy. Is there a place to get in on this ride? Maybe. We got to zoom in. Is it going to break out above this? Could you treat this as a little wee bottom formation and a stage to go up? I would think so, just because we have these huge buying candles and it's pulled back a bit. It certainly is more risky to be buying it now instead of at the point of the triangle. But if we look at the long-term view, it's lots of time for it to go up. A little, adding on a little spot of, it would be prudent actually. Namecoin. It made new highs and it's pulled back. I'm going to leave it as a hold, even though I have no idea, no use, and I would never trade it myself. NMR, another one that we marked as a hold, but it's not in our spreadsheet. I am remiss at making that new spreadsheet with the new columns, but I will, because we've had a couple requests for spreadsheet updates. One for color revisions, so that they are better for people who have color blindness, so that some colors are just difficult to see and compare against each other. So I will do that when I do the upgrade. And some people are saying that it's hard to view the final row when we're down to row 51 when you're using and looking at this spreadsheet on a cell phone. And so I'll see what I can do on that, but I can't promise that I can fix things. All right, this is a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And if I look at it on the 12-hour bars, it's got the moving average crossover. It's broken out of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It's actually officially matches the pattern. Would I trade it? I don't know. I don't have it. Well, actually, I do have like 1,000 of them in a wallet somewhere. OMG, hold. Love it. Great chart pattern. Technical beauty. Really, really beautiful. It's going to be a great one to watch take off. Oh, I just love it. Omni, I'm surprised actually, but it's got some strength going on here. I'm going to leave it as a hold. I don't know what Omni does. I know that MadeSafe coin works on the Omni network because it was like the only one you could do that with at the time. Pascal coin is giving us an alert right now. So actually the alert has been triggered and now it's turned into a hold. Just because of this descending wedge, we have the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation that's broken out. Such a beautiful time to be trading these things. Poly, we talked about earlier, but look at the volume going on here. Somebody's soaking up everything that all of the miners and all of the early ICO guys bought in and they lost money. Now they're selling it the first time it goes up, right? They just want to get money out. And so there's been a huge changeover of hands here, but prices haven't faded back on all of that volume. So it's like running on going up a down escalator, but pretty soon you run out of escalator. PPC, it's building up. Well, I'll leave it as an alert still. Quantum. Hey, I'm glad that you're signed up to the contest investment vlogs. Great to have you on. Average down, Professor Wally. I knew you'd like that if I was talking about averaging down. It's not often that I do it, but I must say that even though it's against my general principles, there are times when I'm been a bag holder big enough that it's time to do it. Quantum. All right, it's an alert again. And then it'll turn into a hold right away. Like this is really consolidating nicely. And it's done some great staging up, great stage up, consolidate, great stage up. Now it's taking a big breath. And when it does the next move up, it's going to take a good jump. So that's a really nice one. I love it. Rep, it didn't give me the kind of bottom formation I like to trade. It's rounded and pulled back. So if you're looking for a cup with handle, this could be a good example if it breaks higher. We've already put it as a hold because this isn't a trading plan. It's just bullishness and bearishness. SBD, okay, it turns into a hold. The wonder market for me. I'm always stunned to see that it's following chart patterns. So never mind, right? It broke out to new highs. That's a buy. It made this. I was happy to notice this in Dash, but didn't seem as excited to find it in SBD, but there it is. It's a bull flag. That pullback after a run up and a straight line pullback like that is like pulling an elastic band back, and off it goes. So the more of these we find, and as well as those ascending wedge triangles, the happier our trading account is going to be. Saya coin, I like it. It's been down, giving us a little pop up, so it's giving us a shape that we can start to follow for a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It's starting the turnaround, so we can start to look at that. SNT, we said that if it broke above this green line, we would say it was an alert actually, but then we got fortunate to see this kind of triangle, or maybe we noticed it as it came down to this point here, but it was very close when we said that if it breaks above this triangle, it's a hold. And for the last two shows anyway here, it's been a hold, and it sure holds the hold category. Steam, of course, this is one of the favorites for March. This bottom formation, the volume coming into this, the usage of the project, the activity on the blockchain. Steam is got such a community. When it starts to go, I think it'll pick up. We'll see. I don't know if the bots have a way to bleed money out of that and it's just going to kill the project over time. We don't know. Storage, it's been a favorite of mine for a while. I've been going on and on about it. And so I'll take all the profits I'm making on this, but I got to get my hard drives up and going now so that I'm renting them out and making money that way. I have 6 or 8 hard drives here, 4 and 6 terabytes each, just sitting there waiting for me to set them up for this. Stellar. Now, I don't know, of course. There's no way to ever but you know, this went on quite a tear downward here. I guess everything was going down, and I can't be that, I can't say. But anyway, there's been a recent announcement that this is going to be listed on Coinbase Pro or something like that. There's going to be new announcements with IBM's going to have some special announcements on the 18th and 19th of March. So the market's getting really itchy about this, and it just makes me wonder about this really more than average push down of this market. There's probably people who, I don't know, you know what I mean? But fortunately, it doesn't matter if they are manipulating it, because even if they are manipulating, you would have risk control rules that would take you out of the market. If you were not, if you were long, right, you would have risk control rules that would get you out at a loss right there. Okay, whatever. You might even have trading rules that let you go short on the market as it comes down in these circumstances. But whatever the case, when it comes down to a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and starts to break above, we already have a strategy for that. And no matter what manipulation they're doing, the chart pattern shows the volume that indicates that moment of turnaround for us. So this is what we're looking for in all the other markets now. This one is taken off. Is there a place to step onto this? I wouldn't be wanting to jump onto a moving train like this. I used to work on flat cars on the train, and you could. It might be the right moment. Who knows? But I used to work on the railroad, and I left equipment on the flat car, the railway flat car, and the train was just starting to pull them out as they were switching out cars, and I wanted to jump on. And so I grabbed onto this car of a moving train. Near ripping my arm off. Just no idea how much momentum a train actually has. So jumping onto a moving train is always a bad idea. I wait for that consolidation moment. The train comes to just a pause, and then you can jump on, just like Bugs Bunny, you know that cartoon? Strat is making a buy here, so that's a hold. Syscoin went to neutral. Well, I'm going to put it back to alert, and probably tomorrow it'll be a hold, because everything is turning. We're turning that tide, and our spreadsheet is going to show it here. Viacoin we've had as an alert for so long. We were watching it. It really took off. Hold. And this is the coin where, let me go. Apologize. Viacoin is the coin that was the question that came up. I don't know why I have a circle. Okay. So as this was blasting off, I had purchased it earlier as it was going sideways, and then when it was taking off, I'm watching the market really closely, and I logged in. I came down here and checked it out, and I'm looking at the volume and of buys and sells, and at that moment it would have only taken 1 or 2 Bitcoin to have pushed the market all the way back down. It was still very thinly supported as the price was moving up, and so because it was so thin and there was such a heavy amount of sell orders above it, I thought the market was going to be turning around, so I got out, and the market turned around, and it's come way back here. So now it's found the support, as we can see. by the depth of the orders here, it's got a little bit of support, but it's still a very thinly traded market. Really, nobody's going to step in here with $200,000 and just do a trade. It's really a very lightly, thinly traded market. So even though it shows these fantastic gains, you really couldn't trade 100, you couldn't do a really big trade with this. It's a very thinly traded market. So that kind of thing is really important to pay attention to. For these really low market cap coins, it just takes so little to swing the market around that once it's moved up there, it's even more precarious. You ever watch those videos on YouTube of the tower climbers? You just get sweaty palms thinking about watching them. Just watching them, you get sweaty palms, and you're not the one climbing. Anyway, that's what I feel like when I'm trading these things and they're way up high like that, and there's very thin amount of orders in the books to support that way up there. I feel like I'm tower climbing, and I don't like it. So there's Viacoin. It should be going up. It could be consolidating here and going up higher. But again, if 20 of us went in there with $1,000, the market would be screwed. It just doesn't have the volume to support it. Now, VTC. Of course, we were watching this one earlier. We saw it as an alert earlier. We called it as a hold, and it's been a hold for quite a while. And if you haven't already, if you want access to the spreadsheets, I see we've got a few people logged into the spreadsheet pretty much all the time now, checking the spreadsheet. You can go over to IntroToCryptos.ca and sign up and register. You'll get a copy of the free chapter of my book. It's the most important trading chapter in the book. And I give it away for free because it's the most important one, and I want to help people with it. So you can get that free course by clicking up along the top after you register, and you also get access to this spreadsheet that we work with every day here on the show. So then you can really look back through the depth of these coins and follow the history back, look at the chart, do some of your own back testing, add this to your own studies, and you'll see things like counterparty come up and surprise you. But now we've got a double bottom here, so we can watch for a structure now. We can watch for a structure to set up here as we zoom in. Now we've got a number 1 point. We could ignore these wicks, but we can call this number 1 point. And as we're coming in to look at this more closely, I can see that these are big green candles of buying. So there is a turnaround in the market interest. We'll watch for this to make a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and see what goes on. So our market is neutral now. And then we'll move on to XEM, which is a little wee ascending wedge triangle. I'm just going to move this right up to hold because it's not officially yet, because it has to break above that support line. And even better, of course, by now you are already saying it in your mind before I say it, is that it's going to come out and retest those levels, and that would be your buy signal instead of buying on the breakout. So you're adding that one filter of safety into your trades instead of being that risky. Not jumping on these kind of things that poke out and pull back, but we're waiting for the sure turnaround. The more sure, nothing is sure, but the more sure turnaround. So that's marked as a hold. XMR. I'm a cheerleader for XMR, and I wasn't before. I was the real poo-hoo guy for XMR. But this is an alert now, and it'll turn into a hold before tomorrow. I'm betting on it because I took some. What did I get? I got some referral earnings, and I bought XMR with it. I like to see little earnings come in like that, invest them, and then track that over time to see what happened with that. All right, this one turns into a hold. It's not one I would be like jumping up and down to trade. It wouldn't have the market volume and everything for all of us to do anything with it, but the chart pattern's there. So for our bullishness index, it's there. Ripple is an alert. If it goes up any more than this tomorrow, it'll be a hold, and I'm expecting it. I am expecting it. If Bitcoin is going to tick up from here and start to go, and we have all 4 of our main coins taking off, then we are in for a treat, and Ripple is going to be doing things we haven't seen before. Zcash, okay, we're getting the structure built up for a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, so it's neutral now, And ZRX, there's another one, the Z something or other, that had a big blast off. I don't know. There's a 1, 2, 3 bottom. Now it's building up for a larger 1, 2, 3 bottom, and that it's doing it right along these levels is great. That's really good. Those are historical prices. Very good. So if I grab this line, this is a nice, if it pulls back a little bit and then breaks higher, it would be even better. So this, I'll put it as neutral, but like if it breaks higher, I'm going to have to mark it as a bullish index, even though it wouldn't give me a trading signal the way I want. It does look good. Now for one of the moments I look forward to, EOS. No. There we go. The trading plan. And we're going to go and see what happens with this chart when I update the data here. I'll copy and paste the formulas over, and then I'll take a look at PIVX. Ta-da! Big move in green. Lots of more green. The yellows turn to green. Some of the neutrals turn to green. Our reds are smashed down to nothing. Our near fails are smashed right down to nothing. This is really a big turnaround, a turn in the markets right now, today, since last show. That's a really significant move. I love it. Great to see all these bottom formations manifesting. And Bitcoin really looks like it's setting up to do something. It's hard to pull away from the charts when it's building up to such a beautiful chart formation everywhere. You just want to be watching it all the time. It's like those World Cup soccer. You can't take your eyes off it, because it just takes off so fast. And all of a sudden there's been a pass and a goal, and here's another one where we've got these bottom formations shaping up. We see the volume coming in. So like there's a major change of something right here. They got some news out, something or other, but it's happening across all the cryptos at the same time. So people who are hesitant and waiting to invest are putting their money into what they wanted to invest in. But I think we're in a good time right now. Unparalleled. We really are at the beginning of the biggest bull market in cryptocurrency history. And we're having a trading contest where we're giving away over $5,000 in prizes. And two of the very best prizes are random draws. So it doesn't matter how well you do in trading, you could win two of the best prizes, which is lifetime membership with IntroToCryptos.ca course. And you get a complimentary 3 months alerts package too. So you're really taken care of. We're really going to help you learn the system and get the habit of putting the system into action. Sometimes that's the hardest thing, is the habit of putting it into action. So next will be episode 114. We just don't do 113. We just don't do it. That'll be tomorrow. Not sure if it's going to be 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. Great thing is the replay will be available on demand. And you are right, Old Scott, the privacy coins seem to be moving. And I think that's one of the reasons that Litecoin is doing so amazing, is that they have announced that they are going to have some privacy functions built into it for added fungibility. So if you guys have any markets you'd like me to take a look at, now's a good time. We could pull that up, go through it. This is an amazing chart. It's unexpected. Actually, let me go over to Bitfinex. Get rid of the star. No, the star. Get rid of the BTC. So now I can go to Coin US dollar. Where's Litecoin US dollar? Wow, that was very similar. I almost didn't see the difference. Switch, not much difference. Wow. So Litecoin US dollar has been taking off much more than Bitcoin US dollar. And a lot of volume too. Look at that volume coming in there. This is nowhere near done. Wow, we're looking at doubling in price in no time from this market. Crazy. It'll go from $56 to $110. And it'll be rough at around $110, but nowhere near done. Maybe, oh wow. Crazy. Beautiful days. I guess that's about wraps it up here. So let me go back to our cryptocurrency trading spreadsheet. I got so many tabs open here. So we're way into the bull market now. This is our evidence of bull for sure across the board. And when we go to the 2019 bull market watch, this is one of the great things for me is to pull along here through February, where we see a lot of orange and red and gray, a lot of orange and red and gray. And then we go down to the current and we go across and we're seeing a lot more green. We can see all the reds and oranges dissipate and change into grays and then change into yellows. And then from yellows, we're seeing green across all of the bottom there. So a really great progression. Just to see that color coding change really just verifies that we are in the right time and at the right place. And it is time to be taking a measured risk. It really is. These are the times that you watch for. And people who got into cryptocurrencies way back here and they just got punished all year, they may not have been bad at trading. The markets were no good. Doesn't matter how good you are at trading. In this kind of market, you get hammered unless you're going short. So I may be wrong at that, of course. I'm certain that there are bots that could be making money buying low and sell high all the way along this downtrend. When I was trading in a strategy called flipping, where you buy at the current between the bid and the ask, and you're buying and selling between the bid and ask all the way up and all the way down, all the way up and all the way down. You're constantly churning, buying and selling at the bid and ask. And you're trying to make a profit in the middle and slowly trickle some money out. And during the downtrends, those bid-ask spreads were the greatest, and there was the greatest profits to be made flipping those items back and forth, or the coins back and forth as the market's moving. The more volatile, the wider the bid-ask spread, and the more money you're making, consistent little wee bits of money. And if you're doing it with large volumes of coin, it turns into great amounts of money. And I am interested, and I'm looking forward to getting involved with GBU Professor Wally's Gunbot University. So Professor Wally runs Gunbot University. It's a university that teaches you all about how to set up a bot and how to run it and how to set it up on a VPS and everything. He's got the whole slick setup. I'll be one of his customers. Now, I'm going to sign off. And I wonder if I can undelete that. I don't know, but I'll make you investment vlogs is now a moderator as well. Just because you've been around so awesome so much. Now, I'm going to sign off. Give you guys a high five. Of course, I'm not signing off the markets because look at them. They are taking off right now as we speak. This is going to be phenomenal to watch. I'm going to go and make some pop for sure. These are the days we've been waiting for and spending so much time getting ready for. Now that they're here, it's time just to... yes, investment vlogs. He's going to sign up for the contest. Great way to hone the skills. Absolutely. These contests are great. We got to practice and practice and practice and practice. It's that drill for skill. It's that repeating over and over and over until these patterns are habitual. It's the same thing as somebody who's training to be a black belt in martial arts. It's the same thing as somebody who's learning how to fly an airplane, a commercial airplane. They practice over and over and over everything that can go wrong. They have all of the strategies in place so that they can deal with an emergency. Same thing with a surgeon. A surgeon practices everything over and over again. There's so much virtual practice before you actually get into the real thing. Same with us. Let's practice. Come on over. Get into the trading contest. I'll let you all go for now. Just so great to have you here. I appreciate it. Now, that's it. Cheers. Where's my wrong setup over here?